My literacy narrative. Let's start at the beginning. That's usually a good place to start, I find. But what is the beginning? Is it when I first enter school? No, not at all. It's when I first start reading. Because you read before you write. And I was a voracious reader. I loved to read. I consumed all I could do, all I could read. The school library was mine for the plucking. I read everything there, including what Daddy did. And nobody read what Daddy did, and probably for good reason. Um, my favorite books when I was a kid was Artemis Fowl and the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which really shaped my inspirations for the future and what I really loved about stories in the future. From the well-written prose that are full of not double entendres, but just full of wordplay. I love wordplay and fantastic world building. And this all inspired my creativity in writing. It would help me write in my free time, as in, I was inspired to just keep on writing even if I didn't have to, from short stories to just my thoughts. And it started before I could even write. I used to make comics of stick figures, and then I would have my mom write the dialogue for me because I couldn't write, and then she'd staple together in these little booklets. Then, when I could write, I did a Star Wars parody called Chef Wars, and later on, at the age of 12, I'm writing fan fiction. And because of all this writing, I'm practicing a lot, even though I didn't realize I was practicing. And my English classes, I was just a breeze through me. And because of that, I was put into advanced classes where they would give you more complex books that you would have to read. And then you would digest them, you would analyze them, you would write about them, and you would have a Socratic seminar for them, this is way before you would do Socratic seminar at my school. And they would also let you meet local writers in it, which is very amazing and very inspiring to me in particular. And all this was definitely doing something to me, because I would get praise from teachers, I would get praise from local writers, I would get praise from parents. I was getting confident in my ability. But also, I was doing so much writing that I stopped liking it. Sort of like when a parent catches a kid smoking, so they have them smoke the entire pack to teach them a lesson. I overstimulated myself with writing. I broke myself from it. I fell out of love with writing. It became a chore. The teachers would have us read a story like The Lottery, and then they would have us write a paper about the lottery, about how the plot twist is that they would kill the person. That's the lottery. And to find a quote from one of my favorite stories, Artemis Fowl, confidence is ignorance. If you're feeling cocky, it's because there's something you don't know. And what I didn't know is that you have to keep on writing to be good at it, to continuously improve. I stopped writing, and I only did it for class, and I would procrastinate on that. And my grade was steadily dropping in there. Even though I was still a good writer, I was just giving myself no credit. I was doing myself no favors. And this persisted for years. It just got worse and worse, and I got more out of love with it. I never truly began to despise it, but I would always let out a groan when it came to doing another paper. In fact, during this time, I enjoyed doing math more than I enjoyed writing, which, if anyone knows me, it's super topsy-turvy. It is like a reverse world, a bizarro world from Superman. Some sort of bizarro Shane. But I'm here at the writer studio. I'm here helping people write. I'm here training for writer tutoring. So obviously something changed in me. A switch was flipped, and it was in my senior year of high school. We had to do a big project, one that really shows improvement throughout the year. And I chose to write a book. Other people would choose to diet and exercise. Others would work within charity or try to start their own business. I chose to write a book, which was sort of insane to me. Why did I choose that after so many years of avoiding writing? I still don't know to this day. But I'm glad I did, because once pen went to paper and ideas started to flow, I couldn't stop. I really enjoyed the process, from the storyboarding to the character creation to just all the ideas that were flowing. I built a whole world called Kerosene. I don't know why I called it Kerosene, but I did. And it had so many countries. One that was more technologically advanced. One that was full of magic. And I did all this despite the fact that only 2 countries were involved in the actual story. And it wasn't the 2 that I mentioned. And the premise of the story is something I still love to this day. The premise of In Darkness Drives, which is a cool name, by the way, but the premise is about a person's rise to power, of overtaking the corrupted monarchy. But it's not for the better. No, this person is not a good person. In fact, he's supposed to be an antagonist. It's, in my eyes, the rise of power of an antagonist, of how he gets into power before a hero goes to stop him. This is his story, and you view it from his eyes, and you're supposed to think that, oh yeah, this guy's the good guy, until the final chapter, like, oh wait, no, he just put up his own corrupt rule instead of a different corrupt rule. And that's what I really loved about it. I really loved that I could write down that premise, that, like, I had the idea in my head and I could put it to paper. I don't think I did the premise well. The book is full of the worst pacing imaginable, with just jumping to different plot lines without any good transitions, and full of grammatical errors, but I'm still so proud of it, and I love it to this day. It's what really got me back into reading, into writing, and I love that. I've been writing a lot more since then. Not to the point of making another book, but I've been putting down all of my ideas when I have an idea. In fact, I have documents upon documents full of ideas from, like, oh yeah, what if I was a writer at DC Comics? This would be what I want to do. Or what if a Wild West historical monster hunter book that I really wanted to do? And I've been writing fan fiction again, and reading is more voracious. Not back to how it used to be, but I love to read, and it's great. There's another quote that I want to go over from Douglas Adams, who wrote Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. There is an art, it says, or rather a knack to flying. The knack lies in learning how to throw yourself at the ground and miss. But in order to do that, you have to be prepared to hit the ground. And that's just what you have to do with writing, with reading. You have to continuously throw yourself to the ground and fail. I wouldn't say that you would ever fail at writing, but you have to keep on throwing yourself down over and over and over and over again until you can start flying, until you can start soaring. And that is what this whole writer's journey is all about. It's not just about me learning how to love writing again. It's about me learning that practice truly makes perfect. And that even if you write something bad, it still benefits you. Even if your writing is poor, it still benefits you. But you just have to write. And that's the whole thing that you need to do. Even if it's a bit of a chore, you need to take a page out of Stephen King's book and just write every day. And you'll improve. And what you write, you'll really be proud of. And that is my journey. That is my narrative.